What's up, guys? It's insane. It's actually, I wrote this down, like the censorship is getting out of control. Um, wow. I was just sitting here talking, about the moderators. Folks, the internet never, ever messes up at my house until I try and go live here. I walk in the other room, both of my kids are using the internet. It's ridiculous. So I'm sorry about that. I mean, I was sitting here talking about the moderators. You know what I'm saying? And how good of a job they do. I don't understand why channels are just getting cut and ghosted and all this other stuff. Um, is the sound coming in, the audio coming in okay? Um, yeah, I know that Bear Independent has been dealing with this as well, but I also heard that I think it was last night, Alaska Prepper, they were interfering with his live stream. Um, and I would say it's a fluke, except for Bear Independent actually got a message from YouTube. Now, it didn't tell him anything, but it verified that, they were the ones who blacked it out. Yeah, okay. It blacked out during the coffee mug. Sorry about that. So I was just going to say how good of a job the four moderators that are in here are doing. It's all good. Keep on getting it. Thank you very much, Kathy. I'm going to try it. You know what I'm saying? This computer is 6 months old. I bought it for this past couple of semesters ago for college. So it's not like it's an old computer. The router's in there running fine. I went and double checked it. It's I mean, what else can it be? I don't have a trouble at all uploading, downloading any other time. It's just, I don't know. It's insane. Yeah, the next segment, we are under attack. Yeah, I was just going to tell you about Bear and Alaska Prepper. There are 4 or 5 channels a couple of days ago that just got completely removed. I wasn't subbed to the channels, but apparently they were very popular. Maybe some of you know who the channels were. I had someone message me on Patreon to tell me about it. I didn't know what was going on, but I was actually watching Bear's live stream when it got waxed. And he followed it up with a post with a picture, a screenshot from the message from YouTube. So I mean, it's just insane. I want to say thank you really quickly to Christy Hardy, if she's out there. I'm not even sure if she's on this stream where it got restarted, but she's over on Patreon as well. For those of you who are on YouTube and not patron, we donated, us together, not me, us over on Patreon. We donated $750 to St. Jude's this week from merchandise sales from you folks that are in the coffee club. All of that money goes to charity. I chipped in some of my money, but Christy Hardy, who did not want me to throw her name out here, she didn't want any kind of recognition whatsoever. She sent over a huge donation that helped us get up to 750. It was kind of out of the blue. It about knocked me in the floor. But yeah, because of her. What's up, James Man? Look here, James Man over in the chat. That's my buddy right there. That's my tech guy that helps me out with all my tech stuff I'm always talking about. I could have used you a while ago, Jamie, man. YouTube is cutting the feed on us, man. I need you to check into that, homie. But yeah, we donated $750 because of her. Otherwise, we were going to be up to, I don't know, $300, $250. So she really bailed us out. Yinzer Prepper, Marfugal covered that. Censorship is getting bad. The First Amendment is under attack. Thank you for that. So here's the deal. I mean, it's kind of a gray area. First Amendment, yeah, it's definitely under attack, but at the same time, this is a private, how they do it. They say, well, if you want to say something, just don't use our platform. The problem with that is, Google, it's the most popular platform out there. So you kind of have to use it to make any kind of noise whatsoever. And they know that. And so I can't really talk about it much on here. If I say too much, I'm afraid they're going to cut me off again. You know what I'm saying? I had to re-click the bell on your channel. I stopped getting notifications, K. Marie. Yeah, it's been happening to, you wouldn't believe how many emails and messages I get on YouTube every day. Prepper Nation, do you have a well? We do at the Bug Out location. We do not have one here at the Ponderosa. You wouldn't believe how many people every single day message and say, I'm not getting your notifications for some reason. Or they'll come over to watch one of the videos because I try and post them in the morning and they're unsubscribed and they didn't unsubscribe or anything. And I've actually had people send messages where they will click subscribe and it will automatically unsubscribe them right back. Yeah, somebody who put that. April, thank you. Hit the thumbs up. The record because of you folks last week is 720 likes, which I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard to beat tonight. Just saying. Just saying. Pam, it's a very choppy stream. Is it choppy for you folks? I have an HD camera I can hook up, but I'm almost afraid to. Because if I hook up the HD camera, it might kill the feed. Okay. TJ Preps is back in the house. Awesome. Want to say thank you for the coffee and donations and things like that. Oliver over in the UK, my friend. Thank you very much. And also Trina, Jennifer, Wendy. This cracks me up. Thank you, Luke. Robert over on the YouTube page posted probably the funniest comment of the week. And yeah, so it's when I put the Kardashians up for the Shotgun Saturday Night promotion or whatever. And he posted, never, ever, ever put the Kardashians on anything. And I just busted out laughing. The reason that I used for those of you that caught my live stream with the Angry Prepper, the reason I used the Kardashians this week is because Jason at the Angry Prepper was just tearing into the Kardashians about how they're so famous for really doing nothing. So I thought it'd be funny to put a camo hat on Kim and a shotgun in her hand. But yeah, the choppiness is getting bad, folks. If it ends for whatever reason, if they kill me again, I will just post a video and upload it. Because I don't want to keep dragging you guys through it. I mean, I have nothing else running in the background on the computer, so I do apologize if it's choppy. All right, so I'm going to go over, well, actually, before I get to the questions, since TJ Preps is in here, TJ, I got to know how you keep yourself so clean. I just got to know. Renee Young, thank you for the super chat. Hi, hun. Every Prepper Channel live stream I've watched in the last 2 weeks has been turned off and they had to restart. It's ridiculous. It really is. If it wasn't going on with anybody else, I would say, okay, this computer is going out in the trash and I'll just go out and get a different computer. But it literally gives me no problem. Like I'll do video presentations for college and no problem whatsoever. I can upload to YouTube, no problem whatsoever. But the minute I start live streaming on YouTube, I feel like there's a room full of people somewhere watching the live stream. And then I see other preppers getting nailed and it's just out of control. It really is. Check out D Live, no censorship. Thank you for that, Yenzer, and thank you for the super chat. It is YouTube. Thank you, Armageddon Prepper. So anyway, if TJ would enlighten everybody over in the chat on where they have a prepping area, and I'm guilty of it as well. I'm not throwing my family under the bus, but does anybody have a prepping area that has a bunch of stuff stuck in it throughout the week that's not prepping stuff? Anybody? 503. Nope. Patriot Rep says nope. Helen says yes. So I'm not alone on this. Scotty, yes. They're raising their hands with the little emoji things that that I don't know how to do. Connie, yeah, I was there. I was watching Bear Independent when that happened. It was insane. My kids, yes, I have stuff all over the place. Okay, so apparently this is no, my husband knows better, Lane. Yeah, well, at least I'm not alone on this. That's awesome. So somebody asked this week, not only food. I know I hammer on food all the time. What happens is I'll go watch Ice Age Farmer. If you're not subscribed to Ice Age Farmer, you need to be. So I go over there and I'll watch a couple of his live streams. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I have enough food. The people at Prepper Nation, they don't have enough food. And so I'll start hammering food. But somebody asked this week, enough with the food. How do you prep for your kids if you have to bunker in, etc.? And that was a pretty good question. I mean, personally, what I would do and what we've done here is they're not really bug out bags, but each kid has a book bag, and they have filled it up with stuff that they can occupy themselves with, things like crayons, coloring book. I think my son has one of the older, like the flip style DSs, like Game Boys or whatever. It's just stuff like that we put in there, and they just grab that if they need to. There's been a couple of times when we've had really bad storms and we have a spot down in the basement, and when we go down there, the kids just bring their bags with them. But yeah, you want to make sure that you have stuff for your kids to do. Legos, that's Southwest Prepper Group. That's a very good idea, as long as they are not dropping them on the basement floor and I'm not stepping on them. Other than that, hey, I'm cool with Legos, but I've stepped on a few, and I'll just say I was not a Lego fan for about 5 or 10 minutes afterwards. Uno. My daughter loves to play Uno. Word searches. I call it prepping to prep. Renee, I think there's a delay in your stream. Nothing surprises me. You know what I'm saying? It's probably coming in like a dot matrix black and white on the original Game Boy by the time the people controlling this website, I'm afraid to say their name. That's insane. Legos double as home security. I could see it. Yeah. Ancient, thank you for that super chat. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, but thank you very much, Ancient. Could you list the other prepper channels you mentioned, Christy? Yeah, absolutely. So I want to make sure I don't forget anybody here. So I'm going to write down as I announce them to make sure I don't forget anybody. Magic Prepper, who comes in here from time to time. The Angry Prepper, TJ Preps, is fantastic as well. And she's in here if you folks have a question. She can help you out, especially with the canning. I had a question about canning this week, and I'm like, I don't can. I'm a noob. I'm a greenhorn on canning. Ice Age Farmer, Bear Independent, and also Viking Preparedness. Viking Preparedness and Bear Independent are very similar, but that's not a bad thing. They're both tremendous channels, although Viking does not post on YouTube very much anymore. He's strictly Patreon. New York Prepper. Of course, Alaska Prepper. That dude is a saint. That's what I was saying before the stream cut. His streams were getting messed with. I mean, that guy. Just I think last night, who messes with Alaska Prepper? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they're going after Alaska Prepper, I ain't got a chance, folks. Alaska Granny, City Prepping. Wow, Prepper Now really knows his stuff. Let me see here. Prepper Nurse 1. Prepper Nurse 1. He's fantastic. Prepper Princess. It's sad that I got to write these down so I don't forget them, right? And go over them twice. The Prepared Mind. Who put that? Lazy Ace. That's actually the very first prepping channel that I started watching. John over at the Prepared Mind is the kind of guy that I could sit with. The Patriot Nurse is awesome, by the way. John at the Prepared Mind is somebody I could sit with for 10 minutes and learn just an insane amount of knowledge. I'm starting my channel soon, Armageddon Prepper. Absolutely. Let me know when you do, and I'll help you plug it. Canadian Prepper. Yeah. Wascally Wabbit. I'll tell you, the Canadian Prepper's like this because on one hand, you're going to spend a lot of money over there because he has all high-end stuff. None of it's cheap. It's all quality stuff. But on the other hand, Canadian Prepper also really knows his stuff, and he can teach you a lot if you subscribe over there. So he's another I'd like to be in a room with for a few minutes. MD Creekmore. MD Creekmore not only is awesome, but we're going to get to him, and he knows why if he's in here. He knows. Prepared Homestead. How do you join Patreon? Robert asked. There's a link down below in the video descriptions of all of the videos, the Patreon link. You click it, it's $1 a month, and it unlocks. What I do is I film a smaller channel, Butch Cobb. Y'all check that out as well. Provident Prepper's awesome. Forgot that one. So you click the link, it takes you to Patreon. It starts at $1 a month. There are 2 levels over there, $1 a month, and you get all of the content. I actually film 2 videos a day. I put one over there and one on YouTube. Jody Lofton, thank you very much for the super chat. And God bless you for it. And the $1 at the $1 level, you get to vote on the charity because we give the charity over there each month. Indiana Prepper's awesome. And also at the $5 level, we do gear giveaways. This month coming up, we are doing 2 of the solar power packs, solar powered. I think 4 Patriots or something like that. But that's at the $5 level. So we're going to get into the freeze-dried food. I've got that already down here, Helen. Vulnerable grid during the winter. Do I think the grid is going to be vulnerable? Yeah, I do. For a couple of reasons. This was a question I got this week. If you live in an area where there's social chaos, for example, let's just say if a snowstorm is coming to the Seattle area and it could potentially knock the power or the internet out. And then on top of that, you have the hordes of zombies out here. I mean, I would never, ever go solar lines down or anything like that. Never in a million years. Never. But smell buds, I'll get to that in just a second. And so you could have people who are dragging the chaos and dragging the inconvenience out once the grids go down. So that is what I would be looking for. Somebody asked if I can post the document, and oh, great. Let me see here. Is it still going, folks? Are they watching me? Okay. Sorry, I feel bad for the people in here. Now all the chats are catching up really quick. Let me thank him again in case it didn't get it the first time. Norman Becker, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Somebody asked about the document that's over on Patreon. I cannot post it here. However, I will tell you that it is the playbook of the zombies. And that playbook seems to be focused on election time and thereafter. But you will have to actually go to Patreon and check it out. I agree, Nelly. I agree. I see that is up for review, but I agree with that. All right. Somebody asked, let's see, Kevin Grip, thanks for all of the good info you have given us. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for being here. You know what I'm saying? Without you folks here, I would just be chatting with my friend James, who may or may not still be on this feed, the tech guy himself. I think it is a PDF, Armageddon. It's a link. I was emailed the link and then I clicked the link. I think it's a PDF. I think it is downloadable, but I have not actually downloaded it. What I did was I copied the link and then pasted it. So you folks are free to share it. It's I want to say it's 25 or 30 pages of organization. Let's just say the other side of the coin, following the election, Prepper, can you download it? I think you can as a PDF. I'm not sure about a Word, Christy. Let's just say that they are a lot more organized than they've been given credit for. And they also know there's an imminent shortage coming, and they've been trying to outstack us and out prep us. That ain't happening, but they're trying. So I'll just leave it at that. Their plan, let me just say their plan is to wait for the shortage to hit, be totally stacked to the rafters over on the other side, and then cause as much chaos as possible to stop the resupplies from coming in. And I'll just leave it there. The rest of it, you're going to have to go and read. 38 pages. Thank you, Becky. I knew it was a lot. Adapt 2030. I'm subscribed there. He is amazing. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Ruby. Ruby Tuesday. I've eaten there a few times. Thank you very much. All right. So somebody asked, Sherilyn, what's up? Yes, you're being watched. It's sad but true. It is. It really is. There was some book burning taking place. I can't even say their name on here, but during World War II, there was some book burning going on, and this is just the 2020 version of book burning. The information cannot get out there, right? Susan Dyke Divine, thank you for that, and thank you, Sherilyn, also for the super chats. Yeah, it's the equivalent of the book burning during World War II, right? You can't control people. National Socialist, you dead on. Prepper Now is in the house. If you guys are not subscribed to Prepper Now, go ahead and go subscribe. He's right there in the super chat. He's also a history guy, teaches history, my man, and he knows his stuff. He knows what's going on. Yeah. So anyway, somebody asked this week, how do you take the money out of politics and how do you enforce term limits? If I knew, it would have already been done. The problem with the money in politics, the lobbying, and the problem with the term limits is the people you're trying to enforce it on are the people that are voting for it. And there's no way. You know what I'm saying? If they're making money hand over fist in politics, there's no way they're going to vote to get rid of it. They're just making themselves richer by keeping it around. And why in the world would they give themselves term limits, right? You know, if you're getting rich year after year after year, why would you limit yourself to 4 years or 8 years? There's a reason that people like Bernie, I'm just going to say Bernie, I'm not throwing his last name out. I don't want to get banned here. There's a reason that this guy's never really had like an actual legit job. And he's a millionaire. Where's the money coming from? I think we all know where it's coming from. You know, it's insane. I agree, but I don't know how we put an end to it. Yeah, my Halo coffee cup, man, my coffee's cooling off. You see that? The background's starting to fade away on old Master Chief. Isn't that sad? Sad. When did it become okay to hate the United States, Jesse? I have no idea. I really do not. Jesse, I'll say this. The last time that I remember America being united without political correctness getting in the way was September 11th. Directly following September 11th, it seemed like this country was awake and united. Big Red, this is your calling, John. God bless. God bless you, Big Red. And I also love that, not the super chat, but your profile pic of the line. I love that. It's biblical and I love it. And most folks don't know, but I actually do have a photo of a lion tattooed on the back of my neck. Lion's very special to me. But let me see here. Back it up just a little bit. They're coming in so fast. You vote them out, Lynn said, in terms of term limits and stuff. The problem with trying to vote people out, thank you for posting that, Jason. The problem with voting these people out is politicians will literally tell you anything to get into office, and then they're all the same mold. I'm a coffee man too, John. Here's your next cup. As for the USA hatred, it's Marxist conflict theory. Hate the country, change the country. Yeah. Thank you for that, man. That's exactly what it is. You tear down the system that's here now, and you convince the young generation that the system that's here now is no good. And then you brainwash them into thinking their way is the best way, and then you rebuild society. Exactly. Indoctrination. That's all it is. I had somebody, gun-loving Canuck, a little for the pistol fund. Thank you. I'm trying to decide between a red dot attachment for the Beretta or if I can find, I need to get with Jason to see if Olight sells an attachment because it doesn't have a rail on the bottom. Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. I had somebody tell me yesterday, Prepper now, they said, is it possible? And this is definitely possible. I hadn't thought it through like this, that we have a, we'll just say a global sickness, to get around the algorithm here, that seems to hit the older generation the hardest. And then we have an indoctrination of the youngest generation. And it is feasible to say that maybe this was done to try and get rid of one generation who is going to fight back against communism, and then the next come in to replace it, and fully indoctrinated. So I had never thought about that. That's just me. Olight is a Chinese-owned company. Did not know that. If you guys have any suggestions on a U.S. company for a Beretta Light under barrel, let me know, please. Best and worst freeze-dried foods. Well, this is a big subject. There are very few freeze-dried foods that I do not like. I have noticed that at the local Walmart has its own brand now that they're trying to sneak in and place beside the Mountain House and things like that. And it's pizza and stuff like that. But when you look at the expiration date, it lasts 1 year, and it's roughly the same price. Augustin Farms is okay. Wow, really? Ready Wise is your least favorite, Prepper now? I actually like Ready Wise. I haven't tried all of them, but I like the ones with the meat, like the lasagna and the like cheesy beef and mac, something like that. Augustin Farm, it just depends on what you folks are looking for. If you're looking for Augustin Farms, to my experience, concentrates mostly on carbohydrates and fruits and vegetables and things like that. If you're trying to make an incredible soup, Augustin Farms is the way to go. If you're into pancakes and things like that, Augustin Farms is the way to go. Mountain House, to me, is kind of the middle of the road. I've had some good Mountain House and then some not so good. But that could be my particular palate. I don't like the white sauces like stroganoff and stuff like that. And that is mostly what I've tried from Mountain House. The ones that I've tried that do not have the white sauce, I actually like them. So that's just me. It just comes down to what you folks like to eat. What I would suggest doing before you bite on like a $100 huge tub of it, try and get one or two of each, and try them out. Mountain House is overrated. I mean, again, I've had their lasagna is really good, and Mountain House has a really good, I think it's called Breakfast Skillet or something like that. Eyes to See. Thank you for that donation. There is a video on YouTube of elderly people saying, I had a good life, produced by UN21. Go watch it. Explains a lot. Okay. I had a good life. I will watch that after the stream. Does that have to do with what I was talking about earlier, where it's possible that this has been manufactured for that? But yeah, I'll go check it out. Get a Surefire or a Street Light. Surefire. Okay. Surefire is USA made and expensive. Okay, well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. The USA made, I can deal with that. I'll write it down anyway. I don't mind paying extra for quality though. But if I go over there and it's like $1,200, man, I'll just duct tape a flashlight to the pistol. Something like that. Patriot Supply. See, I haven't tried Patriot Supply. I really need to. I actually tried to order some Legacy the other night, and they didn't have, I mean, they had like the $1,000, whatever it was, half a year. And I'm like, no, I ain't paying $1,000. I was just trying to order a handful of packages of it, and they were all sold out. I just ordered some 4 Patriots yesterday, Corey. Let us know in a couple of days if it's any good, if you want to bust one of them open. Legacy's expensive. Yeah, prepper now. That's the main reason I haven't tried it. You know what I'm saying? But I was just going to order a few packets because I remember telling the angry prepper I hadn't tried it. Patriot is expensive. $197 for a 1-month tub. I mean, that's a little expensive, but it could be excellent food. I'm not sure. I do know that Patriot Supply, I think they give some of their money to military or veterans or something like that. Enforce lights, John. All right. And again, folks, I don't have a rail on the pistol, so that's Lynn. I do 4 Patriots in August, and let us know what you think about 4 Patriots, if you don't mind, please. Tactical Gary. Check out the channel, Tactical Gary, Prepper Comedy. Thank you for that super chat. I will check that out. Harvest Right. Bruce said Harvest right here. I've never even heard of Harvest Right. Hello from Virginia, Lori. Not too far away. My bug out's actually in Virginia. I don't really want to say where, but it's close enough to drive. Mount Airy, for those of you who don't know, is right across the border into North Carolina. You can basically throw a rock and hit Virginia. Do I have water purifiers, Fred? Well, if budget's not an issue, the Berkey water filtering system is what you want. If budget is an issue, the Sawyer Mini is like 20-ish. I think it's $20 or $21. It's really good. It attaches to like water bottles and things like that, and it lasts a really long time. Food for Patriots, very good. Get lots of freebies, great food. Donate to vet services. Thank you for the super chat, Renee. Yeah, anything that donates to veteran services, I'm down for that. That's one of the 2 reasons you'll hear me sometimes talk about Duke Cannon soaps. Number one, I love Duke Cannon. I'm affiliated with them, but I actually approach them. I'm like, hey, man, since I use this stuff anyway, can you kick me some Duke Cannon and let me announce it? But they also donate to veterans charities and things. So it's really cool. And all the soaps, well, most of the soaps are either themed after beer or something to do with the military. Be ready today. How you doing, my man? $5. Thank you very much. You don't have to do that. But I want to let you know that I've been watching the family camping videos that you've been putting on over there. Go check out Be Ready Today. He's even more calm than I am. when I got to work on my game, man. You got that calm voice. You know what I'm saying? He sounds almost like a psychologist or something. But I'm anxious to see. Let me know how you enjoyed camping, man. Really anxious to know. 736 viewers, Linda. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Shoot the thumbs up if you like it and if you don't mind doing it. We're trying to get to 720. It's going to be a hard sell tonight. Yeah. Hey, Be Ready today. Be Ready's awesome, man. He really is. All right. The next subject that I had written down was big tech censorship. Kid you not. So we've been over this, unfortunately, already. We've experienced it firsthand tonight. It's hitting conservative channels, it seems to be. And maybe there are liberal prepping channels. I don't know. Maybe there are kind of moderates who are prepping channels. I don't know. But a majority of the prepping channels that I see kind of lean towards, being conservative. And Christina, what happened to Bear Nation? So Bear Nation was streaming live yesterday. I was there. I was watching. There were like 1,100 people in there, and just got killed. And the stream got killed. So he couldn't get the stream back going up, and so he put out a post for all of his followers. That's all he was able to do at the time, and it was actually a screenshot of a message YouTube had sent him. They didn't really give an explanation why they killed the channel, or not the channel, I'm sorry, the stream, but they kind of let him know, hey, we can do this at any point in time. The Wild Dog 1, thank you for that super chat, sir. And then on top of that, some other, I know that John at the Prepared Mind has been dealing with it. I'm not sure about the Angry Prepper, to be honest with you, if he's dealt with any. Alaska Prepper was dealing with it yesterday, and that was like Prepper's live stream and saying this is offensive. Like so far from offensive that it's almost counter offensive. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. But it's real. You'll hear MD Creekmore sometimes talks about it too. You will hear prepping channels talk about censorship and bandwidth limitations. Thank you, Armageddon Prepper. No, I think what's going on is probably there's a big decision day coming up in a few weeks, and they don't want information to maybe sway a vote here or vote there. So yeah, they're hushing people. I just put it to you like that. Somebody this week asked if it was safe to travel. How can Alaska Prepper be bad? Dude is almost anti-political. Prepper now. That's it. Like, if they come after him, none of us are safe. You know what I mean? Alaska Prepper is basically like the Pope of the prepping community. If they're gunning for him, we're all marked men and women. Safe travel for the holidays. And I think they were traveling internationally. If it were me, I would be okay traveling, but I would be mindful of like layovers and where I'm taking off and where I'm landing. I don't want to be taking off or landing from a city that has seen trouble in the past, because they're probably going to see it after the November election. So in other words, if your plane is going to switch over, you're going to have a layover or something in Portland, for example, I think I would skip that trip and go with something else. Be Ready today. Welcome to the Coffee Club, sir. Just so you know, the Coffee Club money all goes to charity each and every month. So I appreciate that. And someone else will at the end of the month. We voted this month and St. Jude's won out, but the charities that Bear Independent runs was actually a very close second. Lori Edwards, welcome to the Coffee Club, ma'am. Someone asked about herd immunity, what my thoughts on herd immunity were. I'm a fan of herd immunity. I think that's the only way that we do not find ourselves in a Great Depression. Um, Patriot Ref, if the zombies come, I'll just play your calm videos to diffuse them. Thank you very much. Just take don't play mine. Play Be Ready's. Play Be Ready's. I sound like the angry prepper compared to Be Ready. I'm just saying. I really do. I could not. This dude calms me down. You know. Thank you, prepper. Now, but yeah, I'm a fan of herd immunity, and that's just me. War in Armenia. I actually had to look this up because I knew nothing about it prior to this live stream. You're welcome. Be ready. But from what I could tell, that there's a truce now. They've agreed on a truce in Armenia. Must be all the goat yoga. Richard Anderson, goat yoga. I'm getting old. I don't even know what goat yoga is, man. Thank you. Let's see. Jory Nichols with the super chat. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Oh, I got you, Richard Anderson. Yeah, I'm old, man. If the zombies come, climb on a combat with a corn head. Yeah. Goat yoga is cute. Whatever goat yoga is. If you guys want to enlighten me at some point, hey, I don't know. How to keep people off your property. Well, I wish we could just do that and keep people off of our property. There are some things you can do. It depends on where your property's at. You know, to be quite frank, if you live in a townhouse on the middle of Main Street, your defense is going to look a lot different than if you live out on a homestead somewhere. So I can only speak to where I live. You know, I would block the driveway with cars or potentially down trees. That way the individuals come in on foot and not under the cover of a vehicle. I would make sure that I had solar powered floodlights, you know, all over the property. And as I said before, wow, goats climb on them and play with them. Christy. Wow. I did not even know that was a thing. Like, they do this at Planet Fitness, or what's going on here? Oh, I'm old, Pinball. I'm old, brother. I'm 44. I feel like I'm 84 when I wake up. So yeah, I'm making sure that I have a vantage point that's going to overlook basically the main entrance of the property. And I'm going to make sure that I have a decent boomstick, potentially with a scope. And that's just me in this area. Yeah. 44. Yeah. Be ready. I know, man. Maybe what it is, if I'm still like a young buck, like you guys are claiming, maybe in 20 years, I'll have that mellow. People over here call me sometimes. I've had this happen twice, which is weird. Two different people have called me the Redneck Fraser. I guess from the TV show. And I'm like, okay. Do not come at me with relationship advice, folks. Not the Redneck Fraser. Do I think there's a possibility of cyber attacks? Yeah, Renee, I know, right? On the election results. Oh yeah. Cyber attacks are a huge possibility. I mean, come on now. If we can't stop countries from interfering with elections, and I know, look, I'm not saying the right is their hands are perfectly clean here, okay? I'm going to be as objective as possible, right? Richard Anderson, thank you for the super chat. Have you checked out the IWI TS12? No. I will check that out after this, sir. Thank you. So they have determined that Russia interfered in 2016, right? Now take that with a grain of salt. This is coming from mainstream media, but my whole thought process is this: there's probably a good chance that another country was interfering with the lefts to try and boost their votes, and that's probably going to happen on both sides of the fence this time around. And if they're able to do that, then yeah, they're definitely at least going to try some sort of a cyber event. I'll say a cyber event. Yes, thank you, Christy. You doing okay from your phone? I saw that comment when I was getting ready to start. But yeah, that's just my theory. Now I'm glad Pinball's in here. Pinball preparedness, where you at, sir? Someone asked me about the conscription process, and to the point, how the conscription process, the drafting process, can actually change. Can it change during martial law? I know that you are an expert, so Pinball Preparedness is going to actually cover this, hopefully, for me. I know what the process is now, but under martial law, I'm not sure if it can change or not. And I didn't have time to research it, so I don't want to give you folks bad info. But that dude is all over the martial law deal. He'll know. Trust no one. $4.99. No, thank you for that. Okay, so does this mean it's coming from Trust No One, or here's $5, now trust no one? Thank you. Rudy, hold on. I just saw the name Rudy. So this is either Rudy Rudiker from the motion picture, or this is Alaska Prepper up in the house. Alaska Prepper, of course. Here we go. How you doing, my friend? Can you let us know over here in the sidebar, please? Because I've heard that you were having trouble through YouTube yesterday. Can you maybe confirm that since you're in here? Because I heard it from a couple of people, but I wasn't actually over on the channel yesterday, so I don't know for sure. I've been telling my folks that a little bit of censorship going on. Hot Rod Prepper, how you doing, man? Aftermath. Yeah, I'm just curious, since Rudy's in here now, Alaska Prepper, he would be able to tell you if he had no troubles here as far as I know. Wow. Okay, well, I mean, that's good. That's really good. It had me worried. I had a couple of people tell me that you were having trouble yesterday, and I'm like, man, if they're coming after him, we're doomed. I was just telling people in here earlier, you're like the Pope of prepping. Like, you do no wrong on your channel at all, man. So I'm glad to hear that, actually. A lot of different ways you can do it. Angry Prepper sent me to Prepper Nation and Alaska Prepper. There you go. Be ready. I've subbed to you as well, my friend. The night lock system that I think I was talking about it this morning on the video, folks. It's I wish I had one here in front of me, but the way this works, it's very inexpensive. It's over on Amazon, and it comes with a flat piece of metal that screws down to the floor, like right behind your front door. And then at night, when Alaska Prepper, that's happened to me 3 different times, actually. Once I had it overturned, and the other 2, they just said, nah. Thanks for letting me know that I'm not the only one. So the night lock system screws down to the floor right next to the inside of your door, your front door, your back door, whatever. And then when you're getting ready to go to bed, or if there's chaos outside, there's a second piece of metal that slides into a groove and basically prevents the door from opening. Even if they try and kick it in, if you have it locked and you have the night lock in place, it's probably not getting kicked in. Within, it might take 15 or so minutes to kick the door in. So it's really good to have, and you can use this not only in homes, but somebody asked me about mobile homes, and this will work too. And if you have a door that opens out, they actually make one that opens out. And what happens on that particular model is you take the piece of metal here attaches to the actual door, and it has like a hinge and a ball on it that slides into place. And so you can order either system depending on what kind of door you have. And that would be the number one thing that you can do on the cheap to fortify your home. I would also, again, tile floors. That's a good question. That is a very good question. I'll have to look into that and let you folks know sometime this week. I don't know. I wouldn't go busting tile up, to be honest with you. I mean, if it's life or death and people are looting right outside your home, maybe it's time to bust a tile up. But other than that, I don't know that I would do that normally. You can do this with pretty much any home other than tile. I don't want to tell you to bust your tile up. But and then I would have like the solar powered floodlights. That's what we have around the house. You know, if you hear something outside, some kind of chaos, you want to be able to look outside. And a lot of times this will also deter people from, you know what I'm saying? If they're going to try and do something to your house or try and get inside your house and the floodlights pop on, they're probably not coming to your house. They're probably going to go somewhere else. Somebody just said, Liz said that she had concrete floors and she got some brackets to put across the floor. So that's pretty awesome. Thank you. Let me tell you guys about something exciting. So we have a new item. Again, if you're just joining the stream, anytime we sell merchandise here at Prepper Nation, or anytime someone joins the coffee club, all of the profits go directly to charity. And again, we donated this month at St. Jude's. So we have a new shirt coming. We actually have two. We have Connie Saylor. Thank you. Welcome to the coffee club. Coffee. So we have two new shirts. One is available now. It's I had a lady ask me, I think it's one of the moderators, but I don't want to say for sure, about a Shotgun Saturday Night shirt. So it's on sale now. And then we have a shirt coming called, kid you not, the Donald shirt. Donald is a friend here. He's a friend on Patreon. And he basically made a comment during the Angry Prepper live stream that we are Negan, which is a Walking Dead reference. And so we designed a shirt here just for him, and we call it the Donald shirt. Yeah, I think it says something like he ordered one last night. He got the very first one, but I think it says We Are Nation or something like that. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. It's going to be here in a couple of weeks for sale. All right, MD Creekmore. I told you he had a segment on here. I love MD Creekmore's channel. I'm subscribed over there. He knows what he's talking about. If you want a prepping book, MD Creekmore is the man to go to. However, and I told him this, and he laughed, and I'm like, it's no laughing matter, son. He's in Tennessee, so we got the slang going on. He owes me coffee. He posted a video that was a response to a comment that he got. And it was such a funny video. There's a spot in the video that was so funny, and I was not expecting it. I spit half a cup of coffee out. Yeah, right next to my computer. It was horrible. And I told him after the fact, I'm like, dude, man, you owe me some coffee, because it was the good stuff. I'm like, no, this ain't happening. He had the response was somebody told him that prepping was stupid and they had a bug out bag, and if it hit the fan, they're just going out in the woods and they're going to eat bugs and stuff like this. But the way he presented this and answered it, it just, I don't know, man. Maybe I didn't have enough sleep. Maybe he doesn't owe me coffee after all. But I told him he did. Has anybody out there in internet land seen The Walking Dead World Beyond, because I have not seen it, and I've heard that it is like watching paint dry, and I do not want to sign up uh, for the channel if it's really that bad, because that would literally be the only reason that I'm signing up for it. Great show. Texas, the blue flag in my other room, my office, is from the game Fallout 76, which was, I think they filmed, it's a video game, but they filmed it in West Virginia. There's I think it's a golf course in West Virginia that has a huge presidential bunker underneath from the Cold War. The Cold War. And you can take tours and things up there now. I think it's the Greenbrier, I think, in West Virginia. And Wascally Wabbit. Old school desk lamp. Come on, man. It does, doesn't it? You are getting choppy. Yeah, the Greenbrier. Yeah, you have to schedule. Matthew, what's up? You have to schedule the tour of the vault, and you're not allowed to take pictures when you go in. A few people are asking when you think things will hit the fan. Thank you, Christy. So I think things are going to continue to ramp up until the election. And I'd said this, I can't take credit. I heard the Prepared Mind say it first. We're nearing the top of the roller coaster to the point where we know the drop is coming, and it's going to be a serious drop. We're not there yet. I think election time and directly following the election, we're going to be going straight down. But we're getting there. We're very close. I think we're a couple of weeks out, 2.5, maybe 3 weeks. It's already hitting. That's exactly right. But it's only hitting in spots right now. New Mexico has locked back down. That's going to devastate their economy. The COVID is ramping back up. You have the stock markets, like a dying bird flying up in the air. Of course, the election, you have the food shortage, folks. I can't say enough about the food shortage. You need to be stack the daylights out of food. Whatever you can afford, you can do it cheaply. And then on top of this, like the video was covering this morning, now a lot of places are going to have cold weather and potentially storms that are going to knock the power and things out like that, on top of everything else. So definitely be prepared. I think we're just a few weeks out from seeing a lot of chaos, folks. Peter just said it's going to hit the fan when trucks stop running. That's exactly right. I can't tell you, I'm not a truck driver, but I can tell you if I were a truck driver and there's chaos going on, for example, in New York, and they hand me an invoice saying, yeah, go deliver in New York, I'm going to hand it back to them and be like, nah, this job might pay okay, but it's not worth dying for, because can you imagine a city of people that are just out in the streets, all kind of chaos going on. Nobody has any food. Here, drive a Tyson's food truck down. Nah, that is not happening. You know what I'm saying? So they get escorted, but Big Red, I understand what you're saying. They would get escorted, but the police are going to be busy. If you jump to the Patreon page, you'll see I posted, it's open to everybody. You don't even have to be a patron to check it out. I posted the playbook of the extreme left, these groups, these zombie groups, if you will. And their plan is to stack food to the rafters. They're stacking food as well. And then when deliveries become a problem, they intend on shutting the infrastructure down to make it 10 times worse for everybody else. That is the plan over there, folks. They have designated areas in certain cities, according to the document over there, that will cause the most infrastructure damage. They have designated certain highways. I mean, they're very calculated. They really are. So, yeah, Christy said anybody that can't read it can email her, and Jason's actually posting the link in here, folks, that will take you right to the post. And again, it's free. You don't even have to sign up for Patreon. Now it is I think it's a 38-page document, but it was basically smuggled out of one of the extreme left groups and emailed to me. So they are very, very tactical, much more so than we gave them credit for. And that's not to scare you at all, folks. That's not to alarm you. That's just to make sure that you're handling your business prep-wise. Supply chains. Yeah, Pastor, you're exactly right. Pastor Reality. Food is the weapon of choice coming up. Other supplies as well, like, not toilet paper. I can tell you that. You're going to see, following the election, you're going to see a lot of chaos. You're going to see, I really hope it doesn't either. Be ready. I hope we end up stocking and just saving money, the groceries and things that we're buying now, and we don't need them in an emergency. We've just saved money. However, if there is chaos, you don't want to be sitting on, 2 boxes of Slim Jims and a 6-pack of Diet Cokes. And most people in this country have not woken up to that fact. And when I say you're going to see chaos, you'll hear that in the videos. I think you're going to have this awakening moment where people are just like, out of their trance here in the United States. And they're going to realize, wait a minute, the shelves are pretty much empty. And, the riots or whatever going on. And I agree, Armageddon. And you're just going to see like this flurry of people. We saw it with the first lockdowns, like when you went into the stores and everybody's just throwing whatever they can into the buggies. But the problem with non-preppers is they don't know what to prep. So this is, somebody was laughing yesterday, but this is why you're going to see buggies filled with Hungry Man dinners and ice cream and Doritos. And that stuff's not going to last long, right? We know that. We're preppers, but the average person who doesn't prep doesn't know that. So they're going to get what? A week or two worth of food. And then when they run out of food, especially if they have families, they're going to get desperate. And then the horde is going to grow because they're going to join these other people that basically want to become marauders and just start ransacking the place because they're going to be looking for food and things. And the people that wrote this document up from the far left that are organizing for the elections, Alaska Prepper, man, you didn't have to send a donation, my man. Thank you for that. Ask yourselves what in your home adds value to your life if the lights go out or if the trucks stop delivering. Stock up on those things. God bless you, brother, and a big hello to the Prepper Nation. Thank you. I actually watched one of your videos where you were making that point. I think you used the big screen TV for an example. And it's a very good point. You folks need to get that point. And that is, most of you have it, but I'm just going to mention it anyway. And again, this is Alaska Prepper. I'm just repeating this, paraphrasing it. He basically said, look, big screen TVs are really nice, but if the power goes out, you've invested a lot of money in a big screen TV. What purpose is it going to be serving at that point, right? It's just going to be sitting there taking up space. It's not going to do you any good. It's much better to have a small TV and to take the extra money that you would have spent and invest it in gear that you can use in a survival situation or food, maybe emergency food. If you are into Augustin Farms, go over to Alaska Prepper. He has an affiliate link and you can help him out. It's not going to cost you anything extra to do it. Yeah, you the man, Alaska Prepper. Alaska Prepper really is the man. I mean, I'm big, okay? We named off at the beginning of the show several really good channels to follow. And he was, of course, on that list. But I'm really big on Alaska Prepper Angry Prepper, Prepper Nurse 1, and Bear Independent. Those 4 I'm huge on. TJ Preps as well. Don't sleep on TJ Preps. She knows what she's doing when it comes to canning, especially and preserving food. But I'm telling you, and Prepper Now is a very smart guy as well. But yeah, I mean, they are like the if I was going to do a Mount Rushmore of prepping, okay, let's go this far. If I was going to do a Mount Rushmore of prepping, okay, I'm doing Alaska Prepper, I'm doing Prepper Nurse 1, I'm doing Angry Prepper, I'm doing Bear Independent, and I'm probably going to carve a 5th and make it Magic Prepper. Those 5 right there, follow them because they know what they're doing, folks. Question for you folks now. What do you want to see me cover tomorrow? Because we just passed the hour mark. I'm going to try and go about an hour and a half. Be ready. Yeah. Hey, man, we're waiting in the wings. People like me and you, man, we're coming up there. And TJ, but yeah, I mean, we can learn so much from those 5. We really can. And they're so willing to help the newer channels out there. And that's the part that I really love. UN plan. I'm going to write that one down. That's a really good one. PC. Thank you for that. Canadian Prepper. Yeah, I should have mentioned Canadian Prepper. The only reason that I did not mention Canadian Prepper is because I'm in America and things here look a little bit different than they do to him, but that's to no fault of his own. You know what I mean? Hot Rod Prepper. Prepper Nation rocks. Thank you. Thank you for that. But yeah, I mean, what I was going to tell you folks is when I first started, I've been podcasting for a while, but when I first started the prepping podcast, Prepper Nation reached out to me. He didn't have to, or not Prepper Nation, Jesus, Magic Prepper, and pointed me into the right direction for a good microphone to do the videos with. And, you know, and then the Angry Prepper pointed me into the right direction for a video camera. And I'm going to be getting that shortly. I'm still saving for that. But, I mean, they didn't have to. You know what I mean? They could have been like, get out of here, you little jabroni. Because, I mean, you know, really, who am I compared to these guys? You know what I'm saying? And then to have Alaska Prepper, man, like the top dog up in here, that's just awesome. Ice Age Farmer to help those who prep realize that a food shortage is coming. Thank you, Jennifer Small, for that. Oh, he'll help them realize. I watch Ice Age Farmer, but I can only really go over there about once a week, because if I was over there 7 days a week, I would be ordering emergency food 7 days a week. You watch one of his streams at Ice Age Farmer and you're like, oh my God, I need 20 years worth of food like right now. It can't wait. I need to sell the second car and get this food. I mean, he puts it into perspective. Mount Airy, really? Scotty Knuckles for the first time at Mount Airy, and we were married in Greensboro. If you folks have never been to Mount Airy, some of you are like, man, where's Mount Airy? It's the birthplace of Andy Griffith. And it's like a huge deal here still. They have the Andy Griffith Museum. You can go in, folks. If you don't know what the Andy Griffith Show is, I can't really help you out on that. You just go have to Google it. But you can go into the museum and they still have the desk and everything from the show. It's like set up perfectly. And you can go and you can see the actual desk and everything. Now, they didn't film inside the museum, but they've got everything there and they've recreated the set with it. And then also they have a parade, or they did until the COVID, they had a parade once a year. And the people who are still alive are in the parade, and they have their own cars going down, and they have all the squad cars and stuff still. It's fantastic. And then they have all the shops. Floyd Barber Shop. You can still go there and get your hair cut. Yeah. Armageddon Prepper. Believe it or not, it's in my top 5 shows still. I know it's an old show, but there are good values involved in that show. You know what I mean? There just were. Army moms ask if you think they will take down the grid. I think they will try. I think that some areas will be affected, but what those areas are, I don't know. I think that Army moms, I believe that during the winter, the problem's going to be the grid's going to be under attack in certain spots. And then, of course, you're going to have winter weather in a lot of other spots. Now, for example, if I'm in Detroit, okay, and there's social unrest in Detroit, and a snowstorm comes and knocks the grid down, lines workers may not be able to get to where they need to go in order to fix the grid because of the social unrest. So we could be talking about weather potentially knocking it out and then it being long-term because of the unrest, if that makes any sense to you guys. Desert Patriot, thank you. Hey, brother, love your channel and all that you do for the community. Please share about stacking silver. Okay, so I'm going to give you my perspective. I know Alaska Prepper also stacks, if I'm not mistaken. So feel free to ask him in the comments as well. For me, personally, I look at a $20 bill, right? Fiat currency, basically. And then I look at $20 worth of silver, like a silver round. And I look at these two things, and I understand in 20 years, this $20 bill is going to be worth less because of inflation, whereas the silver round is potentially going to be worth more, but at the very least, it's going to hold its value because for thousands of years, people have chased gold and silver and even the entry level, which is copper, but mainly gold and silver. Silver's kind of like that medium. Gold's a little too expensive for me to be stacking. Copper is fun to stack, but you're really not going to. You would have to stack 10 rooms in your house with copper rounds just to have any kind of value. Silver is kind of that medium where if you stack it, it's tradable, right? But you're really in a shift event. I'm not going to be able to trade silver for antibiotics, right? Because antibiotics or ammunition, because people just are not going to trade off stuff that they absolutely need for silver. They want the silver, but they're not going to be willing to come off of life or death items, in my opinion. What silver does is it allows you to get to the other side of the shift situation and have your value. You still have your wealth, I guess I should say. A lot of people invest in silver because they know, when it's close to being time to retire, they can sell the silver and get at the very least what they've invested. It hasn't depreciated in value like money does. But there's a very good chance that they're going to get more than they have invested. So it's an extremely safe way to invest money. I would invest in silver all day long compared to investing in the stock market because it's extremely low risk. Aaron says, in a shift event, some will trade needed items or skills for silver. It depends on what the item is. Diapers or something, toilet paper. Yeah, I'm trading that for silver all day. But food, if there's a severe food crisis, I'm probably not going to trade it for silver. I mean, it would have to be a lot of silver, stuff like that. Thank you for that, Alaska Prepper. Yeah, I mean, that's it. It just preserves your wealth. It allows you to get through the shift event and still have wealth. You could be sitting on right now, you could be sitting on $500,000 in US money, But if we go through a shift event and the country is completely changed to the point where they redo the currency altogether, or they do some sort of a reset, that could really mess up what that money's worth. You know what I'm saying? Take, for example, Confederate money. You know, it's it's worthless right now. But if you were stacking silver back then, it's still worth a lot. You know what I'm saying? So it holds value, whereas fiat currency, paper money, stuff like that just doesn't hold value. Magic Prepper's up in here. Somebody just put Magic Prepper. Hopefully, he's a cool dude. Your humility is refreshing, Brenda. Thank you very much for that. So check it out. I've been writing full time since 2011. I write about zombies and stuff like that. I don't promote it on here because I'm not here to sell books. But when you're an author, you live a very humble lifestyle. You don't make a lot of money. I'm always telling people, man, I've been poor for so long, it doesn't even matter anymore. Money, what's that? It doesn't even matter. So, yeah, I'm definitely not here for the money. I wouldn't know what to do if I had money. So that's what keeps me humble. That and, you know, a lot of prayer. Just subbed to Magic Prepper 3 days ago. Great content and professional looking content. Do you think they will contaminate the water? Oh, I hope not. I truly hope not. I didn't see anything in the document that I posted on Patreon about that, but that would just be a nightmare for a lot of people. I would go ahead and be prepared for the possibility. I mean, it is possible. Go ahead and make sure you have some Sawyer minis or a Berkey and some extra filters, you know, whatever the case may be. But man, I hope these extreme leftists that are shouting, you know, comrades and stuff, I hope they don't start messing with the water systems, because that would just be a nightmare. It's one thing to come around with the National Guard and kind of group these people up and stop them from doing any more damage. But if they get a hold of the water, something like that. Recommendations on fortifying a mobile home. Again, the night lock system, you can look it up on Amazon. I think it's around 35-ish if you can afford to feed it. Janie, I don't mean to blame everything on the left. I know the right has its own problems as well. So when I say the extreme left, I'm saying, good night, Janice. I'm saying the extreme left because I cannot really say the group names here on YouTube without getting banned. But I'm talking about the people with the trash can shields that are setting things on fire. I'm not talking about the average Democrat voter. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm not throwing all Democrats into that pile. It's okay to protest. I'm actually pro protest. But when you start lighting things on fire and throwing, you know, bottles of whiskey that are lit on fire, to me, that's over the line. And so those are the groups that I'm actually talking about when I say the extreme left. I just have to word it as the extreme left. And this also applies to the extreme right. Okay. The extreme right, like the hate groups and things, to me, they're one and the same. We don't need either one of them. Okay. So it's not really a left or right thing. I have to, yeah, you're welcome, Janie. I just have to say it that way so I don't get ghosted here on YouTube. Please put your questions in caps. Okay, Christy. No, I'm just messing with you. Doing a great job. Thank you. Joyce. Yeah, I do call them zombies, but I had a person this week saying that was kind of dehumanizing people, and I don't want to do that either. It's kind of tricky because I can't call them communists. I can't say the group names, right? Because I get banned for that. I can't call them the extreme left because people get upset over that, especially if they're new here and they don't understand why. I can't dehumanize these people by calling them zombies. I really don't know what to call them besides the people that break into places and steal Nikes and set things on fire. Um, yeah, but I don't want to dehumanize anybody. That's the thing, B-Mons. Um, that's the thing. Like, even if they've kind of been brainwashed at the university level or something, these may be good people who actually think that they're making a change by tearing the American system down. And I don't want to, on a personal level, I don't have anything against them personally. Now, I do have, I'm not for them burning innocent businesses down and, bringing violence toward police officers and things like that. Just with the extreme right, same thing. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can do that, Alaska Prepper. Not only, um, not only will I email you a list of the good books I've written, because for the first 3 or 4 years they were pretty terrible. I didn't know it at the time, but I'll actually send you the template as well for Amazon, to where if you're writing, you can just plug it into the template and upload it, and get right through their system and get published on Amazon. I'll do that for you, buddy, after this. Call them wet behind the ears. Yeah, that's exactly right. And many of them are confused by no fault of their own. So they're human just like everybody else. They've just had bad teachers at the college level. And for those of you who know that I'm in college, moral detectives, yeah, we might be able to do that. Call them moral detectives. One of the reasons I wanted to get into teaching at the university level, and I'm almost there, folks, is so I can unbrainwash as many of these college kids as I possibly can. I'll get them for 8 weeks and I can say, look, no, this is not what happened. Socialism doesn't work. Communism kills people, both bad. Okay. Fascism, also bad. Nationalism is okay as long as it's not violent. There's nothing wrong with being proud of the country you live in or the country you originated from, right? That's nationalism. Fascism is when it's taken to the extreme and becomes violent. We don't want that. Okay. We do not want that in this country. Communism, we also don't want that, folks, right? The system that was in place, not perfect. We do need change and we do need to fix a lot of things. But burning down, the Irish lady on the corner, her store, is not going to change that. That's just going to wreck this poor lady's life that had nothing to do with anything. And so we need to teach kids this. History. Never barter food or ammo. That's pretty solid advice, Pinball. Rick Thompson, who is behind the zombie document? I actually don't know. I think that it came from the group that starts with A over on the extreme left. Um, but I have no way of confirming it. Somebody just blindly sent it to me. That's in good over on the extreme left and said, "Hey, I'm not really with them. Here's a document. Can you take a look at it?" I said, "Yeah, man." And my jaw hit the floor when I read through it. What extreme right hate groups? Um, well, Ron, since you asked the question, an extreme right hate group would be someone who, I guess, a group that throws hoods on to intimidate people and carries weapons to intimidate people just because they're another race. To me, that's a hate group, just the same as on the left. There's just no call for any of it. It's all hate, and racism is so stupid to begin with. You know what I'm saying? There's just no place in it in our world. It's so divisive, and I think it gets weaponized um, by politicians, by the mainstream media. I really do. Be careful, John. I know. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to word things in such a way where they won't ghost me from YouTube, at least not for a while. All right. So Daryl says fiat currency is going to be worthless in the next 5 years. It's pretty worthless now. I mean, it's lost so much value. You're exactly right. I mean, it's not going to be anywhere on the level that it is right now, which is another reason that prepping right now makes sense. If you can buy a bag of rice for $10 right now, a couple of years down the road, that bag of rice might cost you 18 or $20. And so you saved money on the long end. Groups that bomb clinics. Yeah. I mean, anybody that perpetuates violence, we don't condone violence here. I'm not asking you folks to be violent in any possible way. Please do not take it that way. The bee lady, $2. Thank you very much. How do folks in mobile homes fortify it? Okay, so again, go to Amazon, look for the night lock system. All right, and I explained it at the beginning of the podcast, but I'll maybe you weren't here. It's a metal plate that you put on the inside of the door, and it screws down to the floor. Okay. And then it comes with a second piece. It's a thick metal piece that slides in. And so what you're going to do when you need to fortify the door or at night, which is why it's called a night lock, you are going to slide this metal piece in. And that stops the door from getting kicked in. Okay. Beyond that, again, I would get a big dog if you can afford to feed a big dog. And I would get solar powered motion lights on the outside of the mobile home. And oftentimes when people are up to no good and those lights come on, they're very bright, they'll go somewhere else with the mischief and they won't mess with you. Now, I can't guarantee they won't, but oftentimes they won't. Maybe if it's allowable in your area, if you don't have a gun, look into a firearm or at the very least a stun gun. Trust no one, $4.99. Thank you very much for that super chat. I keep seeing Magic Prepper's name pop up. Is he in here? I haven't seen him. Are you in here, brother? Ron says you cannot dehumanize Democrats more than they already have done to themselves. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think about it like this, okay? And maybe I'm wrong for thinking about it this way, but I think about what if one of my kids, excuse me, grows up and decides they want to be a Democrat, right? And they totally disagree with me politically on everything. I'm still going to love my kid, right? We may disagree completely, but at the end of the day, that's my kid and they're still human. And so all of these extreme radical leftists, I'll say, that's somebody's kid. And so, at the end of the day, we're here to love everybody. That's just my opinion. Even if they hate us, if somebody hates me, that's fine. I still love them. I don't agree with what's going on over there, but there's a right way to change it. And it's not I understand protecting what's yours, but if at all possible, I would like to see this kind of violence met with love, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? I think most of these people, you can still reason with them to a degree, but you've got to be able to have a conversation. As long as two sides are violent and they're just going at it, there's going to be no conversation. We can accomplish a lot through conversation if both sides are just willing to listen. And that's just my opinion. Don't forget to hit the like. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. The record is 720, and we are sitting on 643. And it's almost time to close up anyway. So, yeah, I can't love liberals. Wish I could be like that. Patriot Ref. Again, I understand. I'm a conservative man myself. But Ronbo, the KKK is a hate group on the right. I understand what you're saying, Patriot Ref, but at the same time, again, that's somebody's kid. And as a Christian, and I know not everybody's a Christian, I get it. Okay. But for me, that's somebody's kid. That's still a human, and it's still my job to love them and to try and talk sense into them. Right. Every leftist, and maybe it's the teacher in me, I don't know, but every leftist that is out here shouting comrade and trying to burn this country down is a potential conservative voter in the future. All you have to do is you have to reach this and you have to say, no, you've been taught wrong. Let me explain my, my point of view. And maybe they listen, maybe they don't. Usually they're not going to, but, I would just rather us sit down and have a conversation than be at each other's throats all the time. But that's not going to help politics out. I think that politics is divisive and the mainstream media kind of sensationalizes it. Just my opinion. Good night, Kat. Thank you very much. I agree with you 100%. Thank you, Michelle. Censored says it's a Jesus thing. It is for me. I mean, to each their own. I'm not the kind of person that is going to push religion on anybody. It's a personal thing for each and every person. You know what I mean? John, will crypto have any value long term? Someone was asking about it. I know I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I know that the emails are gonna flood in tomorrow because of it. I'm not a fan of crypto. I understand that crypto currency has its place, and I think that it's honestly a great way to get around, an all digital reset because it's something that the government cannot control. But at the same time, there are a lot of problems with cryptocurrency. If you have your money tied up in cryptocurrency and the grid goes down and your kids don't have any food, this is basically useless, right? You can't pull your crypto up. You can't transfer it. Nobody can take the crypto. I don't think that it's going to replace cash money. And I'll say the Alaska Prepper put it best. I think it was Alaska Prepper. He said that imagine going to a yard sale or something like that and trying to use digital currency, right? There's just some people that aren't ever going to do it. Never. So I don't think it's going to get mainstream to the point where it just completely takes over. I would not invest everything into it. Daryl Jones, a 9mm is not Beretta is not useless. No, they're not useless. But I can see investing a little into crypto. I would still invest in silver. That's just me personally. Brian Johnson, Luke 22:36, Jesus told us to defend ourselves. Yeah, the Bible, I get this from time to time. People will say, well, how can you advocate any sort of counter violence, being a Christian? And that's because there are a lot of examples in the Bible of people defending themselves for the right reasons, of course. Patriot Allen, hey, Mr. John, just joined. Better late than never. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for that super chat. That is awesome. Well, thank you, Connie. Excellent info on the crypto. I'm not a crypto expert, but that's by design. I'm not tying up a bunch of money into crypto. Again, it has its purpose, I guess, but I'm just not like 100% hardcore into crypto. Some guys are, and trust me, they'll email me tomorrow. Let's see here. Almost there, guys. 7:08. Yeah, we are. We're 12 off. Wow. I didn't think we'd get there tonight. Happy homeschoolers in Tennessee. You can still use crypto offline. Matthew, how do you do that, actually? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I'm just, yeah, I'm just, did we? Yeah, we did pass it. Thank you, Christy. Thank you. Wow. Of course, now the more likes we get, the harder it's going to be to break next week. Who knows? Catch 22. I'm still planning on making a video about crypto. Let me, Matthew, when you make that video, let me know so I can blast the link out to everybody here. I have not, Megan. That would be great to end this podcast with. The president over in China, for those of you who don't know, this week told the troops over there to be ready for war, to prepare for war. And China is known for its saber rattling a little bit. So it's possible. I'm hoping that he's not referring to the United States, because the United States right now, we're not out of it, but we're down right now. We're beat down a little bit. China is starting to remind me of the United States in many ways, though, because they are stockpiling enemies. You know how the United States has, yeah, thank you, Liz. Let's do that. You know how the United States has so many international enemies, it seems like, there's just a huge list of people that want to see the United States fall. China is starting to become that as well, with Japan, with Taiwan, India, the United States. I mean, they are starting to grow their enemy list as well. And someone asked this week, I did a video on Richard Anderson. No, I have not actually. Prophecy of George Washington. I'm going to write that down. I'll look it up as well. Thank you and good night, June. For America, would America fall and China take over? No, someone asked this week, what are the chances that China would invade boots on the ground here in the United States? And I think very slim, because historically speaking, they're kind of, I think I said this in the video, they're a hermit kingdom. They don't like to fight away from China. Now, the way China works is, if you get too close to China, and we learned this in Korea, if you get too close to China, they will attack once, kind of as a warning. And then if you don't back off, they will throw everything at you. And we learned the hard way in Korea. With that, that's why we have a North and South Korea right now. But logistically speaking, it would be a nightmare for China to try and send that much stuff, over here. Now, you take a look at China. They are already in a food crisis, okay? I cannot imagine how much food and how many resources it would take for them to fight a war here in the United States. For China, and I've actually, somebody said that the Chinese military are not in China. I've actually had several people, in Canada. Yeah, of course they're in China, in Canada, but I've had several people from Canada confirm that they are. So I actually don't know. I'm not in Canada. However, for China, it just makes more sense in terms of resources, and plus the historic way that they like to fight, to weaken us in other ways. So I don't think a boots on the ground. Now, a proxy or a shadow war would be more probable. In other words, China's the big dog, and they get one of their little dogs like North Korea or somebody on that level, and they say, here's a bunch of army equipment, go tear into them. We got your back. you know? So I do think that that scenario would be at some point probable if we get weak enough. But for them to come over themselves, I don't see that happening. Number one, I don't know if they would win. I know they have tons of soldiers, but as far as technology goes, the U.S. still has the advantage. Plus, we have the best reserve army in the history of the world, all of our veterans. That's a reserve army, folks. They don't get enough credit. Number two, China would have to empty basically every military able-bodied person they have to send over here, and that's going to leave them wide open with India right next door, basically, or Japan, and they could just swoop in and take the country, and they would do it, I do believe, especially India. I mean, it would just be a nightmare for China. But don't sleep on the fact that they would send one of their little crony countries over here outfitted in all Chinese gear to do a little fighting for them. They're just trying to weaken us down, folks. It's coming to that, I do believe. And they would come from the west, I think, obviously, through the Pacific Northwest. That's just my opinion. But anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead. We're at 142. Let me write this down. 755 likes. It's going to be hard to beat. I am actually going to research a few things here and then shoot a video for tomorrow morning. So I'll be in bed about 2 o'clock in the morning, folks. Thank you, every single one of you, for being here. Thank you for all the super chats. You folks help, of course. 767. You guys do it every time, man. 769. All right. You guys have a blessed night, folks. I'll come to you in the morning with a video, of course, pre-recorded, and it'll hit by 9 or 10 o'clock. Okay. I'll go ahead and schedule it. But yeah, have a very good night. You guys rock. And I'll talk to you in the morning. Bye.